see. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet, rise up.
Hello, welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. Today, I am interviewing Mr. Bernard George. I don't personally know Bernard, but I met Bernard on Facebook. I met him through his mom, Miss Diane, and we connected and we've been communicating. And I thought that, what Bernard went through would be such a powerful, inspirational story to share with others, because there may be others going through it or have gone through it and may go through it. And so I want this video to encourage, and I also want to take this opportunity to thank Bernard for giving me this opportunity to have this discussion with him. And with that said, I just want to say welcome to the Drexel Steamer Show, Bernard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. Bernard, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into your story.
Well, I'm 46 years old. I was born in the Virgin Islands. My mom is from the Turks and Caicos. My dad's from Dominica. So we moved to Florida when I was a young kid. I was maybe around 8 or 9 years old. So I live in Jacksonville, Florida. And I've been here for a good minute. I've traveled and lived in different parts of the United States, but I mainly live in Florida. So
okay.
Yeah.
So and last were you in Turks and Caicos?
It has been about 20 years.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
long overdue for a trip.
Oh, indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, things have changed since 20 years ago, I can tell you that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, tell us about what happened to you.
Well, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I've been in the music industry for a while. I'm a sound engineer and a producer. So in my younger years, and I had a event that I was working in Orlando, Florida, and someone carjacked me and shot me in the neck, and it paralyzed me.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that's almost 30 years.
Yeah, it happened in December 6th, 2003.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. And then, okay, so I mean, after that, I guess obviously you went to the hospital and stuff like that. How long were you in the hospital for?
Well, I was in the hospital for about 3 to 6 months it was.
Really?
And then I came home, and it was a challenge because, trying to adjust from being able to walk and not being able to walk. It was a lot of challenges the first few years of that experience. But after about 2 to 3 years afterwards, I started to gain my strength and started moving around a little bit more. And I started working back again in the music industry. Even though I was in a wheelchair, I continued to try to pursue the music for a while. And then eventually in 2012, I developed a clothing brand. And then I've been doing that since 2012.
Right.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the clothing brand later as well, because I'm excited to talk about that as well.
Yes.
So did anything come out of this? Did they find out who did it? Did anyone got caught and charged?
Yes, the guy who shot me, he did get caught in Orlando, and he's currently in prison at the moment.
Oh, he's still in prison?
Yes, he got a life sentence.
Wow. Yes. He should get a life sentence. He should get.
Yes.
So I know you mentioned, obviously it took a while for you to, being 18 years old, is just, teenage years, 3 years into being a teenager. And I know all of that, you perhaps had all these dreams and stuff like that. What did this do to your self-esteem?
It had a major effect on me. I was very active. I lived a very active life, moving around. I like to go to the gym, work out, hang out with my friends, go hiking, fishing, whatever I can do. And it was just a big 360 because I had to literally relearn how to live my life in a whole different way. So that process in itself took some time. It was very frustrating at the beginning. But it took some time. I went through a lot of downs, and it definitely dropped my self-esteem a lot, but I always tried to use my work as a means to keep going. So it was a motivation for me to say, my mom always used to tell me, like, you lost your legs, but you still got your hands in your mind. So
That's it.
I would use that to keep me going.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And so that's basically like your encouragement, really, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, did you find that you lost friends because or you found that people still stood by you?
I lost everyone.
Really?
Really. It was an eye opener in that, even yeah, I lost a lot of friends. People, you know how it is. You go in the hospital and people will come see you at the beginning, and then as I came home and transitioned home, you just started seeing people contact you less and less. I'm not active and going out and doing things with my friends like I used to. So it put me in a mode where I was by myself a lot.
Yeah.
So it gave me a lot of time to think and self-reflect in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Do you drive?
I do.
You do drive.
Do.
So that doesn't stop you from, but you still cannot walk.
No.
Cannot walk.
So that was one of the things that driving to me was like a sense of freedom. So being in a wheelchair, sometimes it feels like you're constricted from doing a lot of things. So sometimes it would, the minute I got my strength back, that was one of the first things I wanted to do was get a car. So I'd get in my car sometimes, put my wheelchair in the car and just go for a drive, go out to the beach here in Jacksonville, or just ride around town and come back home. So driving was a big part of just mental health therapy, kind of,
Right.
Yeah.
So did you question God, asking God why this happened to you? And I mean, did you have all those thoughts? I'm just trying to understand. I mean,
Yes, for sure. I mean, I still have them now. Like
really?
every once in a while, I look around me and I'm like, okay, why am I going through this? Why do I have to deal with this? So, a lot of people would always tell me that I have a purpose.
You
And
do.
you hear that a lot. People say that, if God kept you here, you have a purpose. So once again, I channeled that energy into my work, and that became a purpose for me to create. A lot of people who are in wheelchairs, when I learned a lot, like going to therapy, I would meet other people in wheelchairs, and I would see that they weren't active. They don't have much going on. They come, a lot of them weren't driving. They would get picked up by a bus or something. And even with me being active, I would go around and I would go into the stores and I wouldn't see a lot of people. I always felt like I was like the only person in a wheelchair anywhere I went, I could be in Walmart or a store, and it was just like, I wanted to show that even though you're in a wheelchair or something like this happens to you, you can still be successful.
Yes.
You don't hear about too many people in wheelchairs running a business, or a successful business at that. I mean, they kind of shun you to the side, label you disabled, and put you in a corner somewhere, and that wasn't me. So that's been one of the fights for me.
Yeah. Well, that is. Sorry, you're saying something?
No.
I think that is awesome, and you're so right. Like so many people, when they find themselves in a certain state, for example, being in a wheelchair, they accept that, like, oh, well, I can't do anything with myself, and they remain to themselves. But I like your spirit. I like, your drive, to be different, and don't let the wheelchair confine who you are. I really admire that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you go out and speak to anyone and encourage them?
I don't. I don't as much. I mean, and I know you're gonna hear me keep referring back to my company and my brand.
Yes.
I let that speak for itself.
All right.
A lot of times when I do business, I don't tell people I'm in a wheelchair. If you go on social media, I don't post myself. I don't show that I'm in a wheelchair because I want people to respect my work and not look at me as, oh, he's in a wheelchair. So what I found was people would work with me and we would do phone conversations, calls, and they would respect my mind and what I'm doing. And then they would meet me and they would be shocked to see that I was in a wheelchair. And they'll be like, so that's been kind of like an avenue I've been using because
Yes.
I never wanted any type of sympathy or anything like that. I want people to see the work that I'm doing. And then you say, okay, he's in a wheelchair and he's doing that as well. So
That's a very excellent approach. Are you the oldest child, Bernard?
yes, I'm here.
Are you the oldest child?
Yes, I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. So and then you have two siblings, right?
I have three. I have two brothers and a sister.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, you live by yourself?
My brother lives with me.
Oh, okay, okay. So you have
Yes.
someone to be there, to be with you. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm very glad what you're doing, and don't I'm so happy that you're not letting being, not being able to walk, keep you down. Even though you're not walking, you're moving into many places that people who could move around physically can do and not doing, but you're doing it. So I want to congratulate you on being so, ambitious and being brave and and being optimistic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about your business. Tell us about your business that keeps you going. And what's the name of your business?
So after I got out of the music industry, I did a lot of work for other people. I also do graphic design, web design, marketing, and promotions. And I would always do work for other people. So developing the brand, I wanted to create something to show my work. So the name of my company is King's Republic. It's King's Republic Luxury Streetwear. So it's a clothing line that I sell different products. I sell lifestyle products as well. I have artwork as well. And I started it in 2012. I started throwing some designs out there and started getting a decent response to it. So for the past 10 years, I've just been building the company. I created a sub brand for the Turks and Caicos maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was able to start getting some of it down to the Turks. And I'm still trying to work on getting more of it out there. But I have a lot of different sections in the company and different products. So it keeps me busy. I mean, I put in about 16 hours a day working at this from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. I'm working on it because I do all the design work. I do all the print work. I do all the marketing, the promotions, the whole nine.
Wow. So you literally spend all your time, working on in your business.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you come up with the name King's Republic?
So that's interesting. I when I was younger, I used to sell clothes. And out of the industry since high school. So I had a company called King's Fashions. And it was just I've always been fascinated with kings. I would study different cultures, the Egyptian culture, Greek culture, the Asian culture and the kings and how they would move. It was just something, even in school, history was my favorite class. So I was always fascinated with kings and the way a king would move and the thought process and how they would run a kingdom. So it was something that was bubbling in my mind for a while. And the name came to me out the blue one day. The name just popped up in my head, and then I designed a logo for it. And then I have a concept behind the whole brand, but it was just a thought that popped in my head, to just be honest with you.
Yeah.
It just spun off of my background with studying kings and
Mhm.
having that launch of the king's fashion stuff, where I would sell like sneakers and jeans and hats
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So
Okay. So
yeah,
that, I mean, I like it. I mean, and the king is a powerful king. Being his king is being king is powerful too. So
right.
I like the, what comes with it as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the sub brand you did for Turks and Caicos, is it also King's Republic, or is it?
Yes, it's King's Republic. It's
Mhm.
the way I named it. It's Turks and Caicos by King's Republic.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
okay.
have a flyer. I don't know if you could see it. That's the logo
Yes,
right there.
yes, I can see it. Yes.
Okay.
Life is
So
what
yeah.
we have. Life is at the beach. Yeah.
Yep. This is one of my promos right here.
Oh, okay. Life is bad at the beach.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
so
I am. You know what I like? I like how you are incorporating Turks and Caicos. It tells me
yes.
you have, even though you haven't been here for years. I mean, obviously due to your situation,
Hmm.
but you have not forgotten your roots. And I like how
Of
you have this Turks and Caicos. I really like that.
course, of course. I had to even in the brand I go with. I mean, I as long as I lived in America, I still consider myself a Caribbean man. So I have a lot of Caribbean influence in the brand, a lot of tropical looks.
Hmm.
And it was just something, you know, growing up after coming from St. Croix, I never really visited Dominica too much. I
Hmm.
never really went back to St. Croix. When we were younger, we would go back to the Turks. So
Hmm.
the Turks was like felt like home. I would call Turks is home to me over the other two. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it was something that I really wanted to implement into the company and try to do something, give back to the Turks and Caicos too. That's where my mom's from. Most of my family's from over there. It was something that I want to do eventually. Hopefully one day I could set me up a store out there as well, and I could bring my products to the Turks and Caicos.
right. Of course, and I'm believing and agreeing with you that will happen soon. So in the meantime, though, how can we get some of your products? What's the
Well,
best way?
the best way you can go on my website is shopkingsrepublic.com, and you can check out the whole brand there. In the product section, I do have a tab for the Turks and Caicos
Uh-huh.
merchandise as well, so you can find all my products.
Okay,
Uh,
can you repeat that again? Shop.
it's
I mean,
shopkingsrepublic.com.
okay. All right. All right. Do you have anything else you would like to share with the viewers before we end?
No, I just stay motivated. If it's anything that you want to do in life, you got to keep at it. Like, things happen, and you can't let anything stop you. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of things I want to accomplish. It's taking a little bit longer than expected, due to my situation, but I'm not giving up on it. I'm gonna keep pushing, and that's the best thing I could tell anybody to do. If you have a thought in your mind, action is the best way to take an idea and make it happen. So I came up with an idea in my head, and 10 years later, I can look around me and see the ideas that I had in front of me. So that's enough motivation to keep it pushing. So that's the best I could tell anybody to do. Just keep God first in your life, and just keep your head on straight, and you should be able to make it. Surround yourself with good people as well.
Yeah. That's some excellent, advice, and I like the first. I like all your points. I really like the first point he's talking about, turning your thoughts into to actions. And a lot of us, we have all these dreams and we just talking about it and dreaming and not doing anything about it. And what I like what you did, you had a thought came, into your head, and you went about turning that thought into action. Now you have your business, spending your hours into your business, and I think that's amazing, and I think that's great advice. And like you say, put God first. I think it's incredible what you're doing. I just want to say I admire you. Tremendously for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You've been watching the Drexel Seymour Show. I know I'm inspired by this short conversation with Bernard, and I believe you are. And I hope that it encourages you to like I always my slogan, rise up and take your position. I hope it encourages you to do that, like what Bernard is doing. I mean, he's in a state he can't walk, but that's not keeping him down. He's going places, and you too can go places. Thank you again for watching the Drexel Seymour Show.
Thank you.